Hey everybody, it's Tanya here from Meraki Coaching, here to chat about where all the planetary energy is for the week beginning Monday, the 23rd of March. And what a time we are in. It's kind of unprecedented with all of the COVID-19, the coronavirus stuff going on. There's countries who are going into lockdown. There's lots of us who are being forced to retreat, to slow down, to fall into a deep space, to maybe explore parts of ourselves that we are normally too busy to explore, and that brings up a lot of fear amongst people. There's also fear around lots of people's health. There's anxiety out there about will I get it? What do I do when I get it? Will I have enough toilet paper? There's still that toilet paper shortage. If you have any spare ones, throw them my way. So yeah, I've never lived through anything like this in my 37 years on this planet. So I don't know how it compares to other times in world's history in relation to wars and depression, but certainly from my personal experience, this is a very unique time. But I do believe that humans, at the end of the day, can overcome whatever is thrown at them. There's a lot of challenges around at the moment. There's a lot of tough times ahead for a lot of people, especially as it relates to not being able to work as well. But I feel like if we all band together, we can get through this. So let's hope that others join in with this train of thought and we all work together. So let's take a look at the charts. Now, actually, just before we do, I wanted to say that we experienced the equinox on the 20th of March, and Aries moved, well, the sun moved into Aries. So it was the start of the zodiac new year. So that is always a time of new energy, a fresh beginning. Aries being the first sign of the zodiac, it's all about potential and going forward to do things. And we're also in the year of the rat in the Chinese horoscope, and the rat is the first sign of the Chinese zodiac. So we've got this double energy of new beginnings, and whatever that means to you, you are going through a new beginning in your life in some way, shape, or form. So just when things are getting a little bit overwhelming, just think of, well, how can I work with this new energy to create something fresh and new? Because we all have times of falling into that fear and despair and anxiety. But yeah, let's try and pull ourselves out of that. And I will have some offerings coming up, which will hopefully help lift your spirits, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later. So just to quickly run through the charts, here we are. This is Monday's chart. So we see that the sun is here in Aries. The moon is currently going through Pisces, and Mercury has headed back into Pisces. So we've got all of that happening. We've also got our lovely friends down here looking at Mars and Pluto have hung out together, and Jupiter is really nearby there. So it's all about new potential, and hopefully starting to feel like we have a bit of a drive and energy to move through everything that's happening with us. Now, Saturn is dropping into Aquarius for the next few months until it'll be there until July-ish before it retrogrades back into Capricorn. But we're going to see some fresher energy. So Saturn's been in Capricorn for a couple of years now, and so there's that being that heavy, we've got to do the work, we've got to get through these things that are kind of the archetypal stern parent, I suppose, in our lives. We must do things. Now, when Saturn is in Aquarius, it it still brings in that energy of restriction, and Aquarius being groups and organizations, we're starting to see obviously very brightly or broadly at the moment where there's restrictions on social gatherings and how people connect. But with Aquarius also being an innovative sign, we are finding ways to connect with each other, even though we have these in-person gatherings, taken away from us for the next little while. We're able to connect with each other over technology and still maintain that social aspect that humans need. So even though people are calling this social isolation, I feel like it's more physical distancing rather than that social isolation or social distancing. And in some ways, I'm connecting more with people in my life who I don't see very often, but I'm checking in with them online a lot more. So perhaps we're going to see a change in our communities and how we interact with people there. And the next few months of Saturn being in Aquarius is a glimpse into what 2021 will be when Saturn is in the sign full time, I suppose. So just keep an eye out into how all of that is happening for you. Now, if we go to the 24th of March, we have the new moon in Aries. So this is a really good time to, like I said, we've had the equinox and the Aries season starting. So this is seeding your next year, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. This is a perfect time for you to seed what you want to call into your life of the next year, and keep in mind all of the outer restrictions that you've got going on, but how can you still fulfill your dreams in this new way and find a new approach and be innovative and get those flashes of inspiration from Aries. We've also got the new moon happening right with Chiron, which is all about our wounds and our innermost woundings and what we're here to teach and learn. So for me, I see this as collective wounding, as to, people have been looking after themselves a bit, going to the shop, the hoarders, stocking up on everything just to make sure I'm safe and secure, because Aries is all about the base chakra and it's all about security. So it's like, how are we going to feel safe and secure in this new world? What do we need? Is it possessions anymore, or is it something else? So all of these things will be coming up for people, and it's going to be a very interesting time in this moment where we're being forced to retreat a little bit to look at all of these aspects and assess those. And also, I'll just say that I'll be doing a new moon intention setting at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, the 24th of March. That's Melbourne time in Australia, whatever time that may be for you. Check that, and we can talk about the new moon a little bit more and set some intentions together. Wednesday, again, we're continuing on, and I feel like probably the next main thing to really talk about for the week will be on Saturday, the 28th, where we have this beautiful Venus-Jupiter trine going on here. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of travel, although at the moment travel is restricted a little bit. That's very much Capricorn restricting Jupiter, clipping its wings to be a bit, but it's also like, how can we expand our minds, as our horizons, whether that's reading a book or going to a place. So, we can look at this in the sense of how we're expanding our internal world rather than our external world. And this beautiful trine with Venus, it's all about appreciating who we are, our self-worth, our friends, our relationships. If you can get out in nature on Saturday, that'll be perfect and beautiful. And just coincidentally, I am running a Venus workshop on Saturday. This has been in the calendar for a few months now, and it was meant to be in person. But obviously with everything going on, it's not going to be in person anymore. It will be online. So I am playing with the time a little bit just to make sure that people from other countries are able to join at a decent hour. So keep an eye out for more information on that. It'll be lovely for you to join us and to talk more about Venus and to talk more about the themes such as gratitude and attraction, and pulling back a little bit, and being rather than all of this doing that we tend to get ourselves caught up in. So hopefully that can bring you a new perspective on things. This is Sunday's chart. Again, the moon would have crossed over Venus, and so we have this extra push of feeling good and dipping into that internal sense of ourselves, and also bringing a connection through to Mars, which of course is our masculine counterpart. So the weekend will hopefully bring a little bit of balance and a little bit of groundedness to everybody. For a lot of companies, they will have really settled into working from home and working in a new way. So the weekend is a chance to just breathe into that and enjoy this new time and see it as an adventure, which could be hard to do, but as time goes on, like, we're exploring this adventure of being at home and slowing down. But ultimately, I hope you stay safe. I hope your friends and family stay safe. Be responsible. Don't go out and about if you feel unwell. Help out your friends and neighbors however you can. Couple of degrees of separation knows the person who is running the kindness pandemic on Facebook, so connecting with that. It's an amazing Facebook group which is growing exponentially, all about how we can spread kindness in this unprecedented human experience that we're having together. So stay well, chat soon, reach out if you need help. Come along to the Venus workshop on Saturday, come along to my new moon intention setting. I'll be doing lots more ways to connect online as well, so we can all get through this together. So love you lots. Bye.